No more checks. Using WIC is easier than ever. WIC is a free nutrition program that helps working families stretch their food budget and make healthy choices. WIC helps families learn to shop for nutritious foods and provides recipes for healthy meals. There's even online nutrition education and an app to make shopping easier. WIC, good food, and a whole lot more. Call or visit us online to find out if you qualify.
Give me food, that's what I want. A chicken curry, being here in a hurry.
Hi, my name's Ann. I'm the senior nutritionist at the Framingham Waltham WIC office.
Hi, I'm Helida Johnson. I am the community coordinator at the local WIC program. Just to give you a little review about the program, we offer nutrition consultation in free healthy food for pregnant women and children up to 5 years old. In addition to free consultation in food, we also offer an array of other services to families. Just an example, we offer classes, breastfeeding classes in 3 different languages: Portuguese, Spanish, and English. We also offer classes for moms with newborns, especially babies up to 3 months, right, Ann? It's called The Happiest Baby on the Block. It's a program designed by a doctor, and it's amazing. Help moms with fussy babies that are really stressed, and we teach techniques to calm them down. Another benefit that we offer is appointments online. Once a year, families are able to have an appointment online, so they don't have to come to the office. We also have a family support coordinator who helps families to access other benefits. One example is to apply for Mass Health, finding a doctor, or whatever they need. If they need to find daycare, we have someone in the office who speaks 4 languages, and they can help families accessing these benefits.
Yeah, she knows all the resources in the area.
Yeah, it's really helpful. One of the things that we're doing at the Framingham office is the Good Food Project, which is a cooking class, and Ann will be able to explain more about it.
So the Good Food Project is great. It adds a little bit of fun to the WIC program. So we have our nutrition counselors. So when you come to WIC, you meet with a nutrition counselor. But we've added the Good Food Project. So when you come, instead of sitting through a traditional nutrition appointment, you can come and learn about the foods that we offer through WIC, learn how to use them, and different ways to use them. I know a lot of people use beans one way.
Exactly.
Or they don't know how to cook all the fruits and vegetables. So we like to add a variety to our nutrition appointments, and this, I think, is a really fun project that we've added.
It is fun. I have been watching, families coming to these appointments and participating in the classes, and I love to see children actually hands-on and having fun, and families really creating memories with their children, learning, how to cook a healthier meal. So I think it's a wonderful program.
Definitely. So one of the things we do is we pick a different food or type of recipe to concentrate on each month. Last month we did spaghetti squash. We tried spaghetti squash a bunch of different ways.
Oh, that was delicious.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, my husband cooked that recipe at home, and we loved it.
Yeah, it was definitely good. This month it's apple, but we thought we'd combine the two. So we have easy spaghetti squash and apple fritter. So it takes a little prep work. I know that if you don't have a large family, if you're cooking for yourself, cooking the whole spaghetti squash,
Yeah.
it's a lot. So this is actually great if you have spaghetti squash left over. For anyone who's never used a spaghetti squash before, this is what it looks like.
I had no idea what that was.
Yeah, it's definitely unique, and it's really surprising what it looks like inside. So when you cut the spaghetti squash, you cut it right down the middle, and you scoop out the insides. It almost looks like the inside of a pumpkin.
Yeah.
The seeds. And then you bake it. So you'll bake it about 45 minutes, a little olive oil on top at 400 degrees. And when it comes out, once you make sure it's nice and cool, if you can stick your fork in it, make sure it's tender.
Oh, wow.
You'll see that it actually just looks like spaghetti. It's definitely a different technique than you'd expect from a squash.
And it looks easy. I bet I can do that.
It's really, yeah. So again, the hardest part about cooking a spaghetti squash is cutting it in half. So make sure you have a good knife and make sure that you watch your fingers. Curl your hands in so you're not cutting your fingertips. You got to dig the knife in. And you're just going to cut slowly.
So you just have to be patient, right?
Definitely just have to be patient. We don't want any injuries from a spaghetti squash.
Yeah, probably I would have a hard time with that. But, watching you doing, the way you should put your hands, I mean, that's very helpful.
Yeah. And when you pull out the knife, you just want to go nice and slowly. You don't want to hurt yourself. Again, this is difficult. This isn't something that the children can help with.
Yeah, definitely an adult should do that.
And that's what the inside looks like before you cook it.
So, do you just scrape like the inside?
Yeah, do you want to help me with that?
Oh,
Helida?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let me get a little bowl where I can use
right
that.
into the pan.
Yep. So you just scrape. So you take everything out, right?
Everything out, yeah. So the seeds and everything come right out of the spaghetti squash.
Okay.
Can you bake those seeds like pumpkin?
You can. They taste pretty good. They're a little bit sweeter than pumpkin seeds. I'd cook them while the oven's preheating on 400. I would just put a little bit of olive oil. You could do a little bit of salt or a little bit of cinnamon.
So
Cinnamon would be good.
You take everything. Is this a vegetable or a fruit?
This is a vegetable.
Vegetable? Okay.
Okay.
And why do you like that? Why do you like to use that vegetable on your recipe?
Why do I like the spaghetti
Yeah.
squash? Oh, it's a good one. It's great. You can use. It's locally grown. It's in season, and you can find it at the market, or you can find it at your local farmers market.
I mean, honestly, I go to the store and I see that all the time, and I look at it and I say, I would never be able to do anything with that. I have no idea what to make. So this is amazing, and you can make. Like, this is a sweet recipe, right? It's more, is it like a dessert type of recipe or what is it?
This recipe is a lot of fun. It's very versatile. So I've already scraped out some of it. I'm going to put it in. Today we've chosen to do a savory. So we're going to do it with onion, a little bit of salt and pepper. But you can definitely make this with a little bit of cinnamon as well. A little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. A little extra apple instead of onion.
So it will be sweeter and it will be more like a dessert.
Exactly. So a fritter it's a traditional fritter is made with flour, sugar, butter. This one has no butter. It has a little bit of egg. It has just a little bit of flour to hold it together.
So it's a healthier.
Absolutely, yeah. So the spaghetti squash has fiber, and it has.
Oh, it really looks like
It
spaghetti.
definitely does.
Wow.
Now we're using the whole squash, but again, if you make spaghetti squash at home and you don't want to use the whole thing, it's excellent to make this recipe with the leftover.
Oh, okay.
You have to make sure it's nice and cool because when you get this out of the oven, it can be
Oh,
pretty
you'll
hot.
be So it'll be really hot.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it. Can you just peel my apple? for me?
Sure, definitely.
Thank
Let
you.
me get the bucket back.
So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of putting my fork through it to spread it out just like the spaghetti. Okay.
This is a great experience for me because I don't cook at home, so I'm learning a lot. I mean, like I said, I never knew what to make with spaghetti squash, so I'm excited to try this at home.
There are tons of recipes. Again, you could stop here. Just add marinara sauce. You could add Alfredo sauce. What did we cook? Kale and chickpeas
Yeah,
in one of them?
I mean, my favorite was the one that you made, and it tasted like a risotto. Remember
Yeah,
that?
the cream spaghetti squash.
Yeah, that was delicious.
But again, if you look, the spaghetti squash makes a lot. And if you're only cooking for one or two,
Uh-huh.
the other half of it's great for this recipe.
You know, I remember my husband making that, and he would just like baked it and just threw some spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that looks horrible.
If you want to find any of the recipes that we're talking about, we'll put them on our Facebook. Again, we have the creamy garlic
Garlic
spaghetti.
spaghetti. Yeah, that was delicious. That was actually one of my favorites so far.
Yeah, and our Facebook is the Framingham Wall Family Program. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grate the apple right into the spaghetti
Actually,
squash.
I can do that. Can
You
I
want
try?
to? Absolutely.
I want to do the easy part.
You'll do the easy part?
So I can tell people I'm actually cooking.
Yeah.
So
So we're going to grate it right into it. You can do it two ways. You can do it fine, and when it
Or-
comes out when you do it fine. It's more like
more like a juicy
more
thing?
like a juicy, or
So
you could
just
grate
way
it-
would be better,
yeah,
right?
so it's the same consistency as the spaghetti squash. And if you look, it almost looks like the same consistency or like a
yeah.
shredded cheese.
Oh, yeah. So do you use the whole apple?
Yep. So you want to make sure you don't go down to the seeds and core.
Oh,
Then you
okay.
just switch to the other side. You just want to watch out with your fingers because you are grating it. Hold your fingers in when you grate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so just like the claw.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the other option to use? Like, if I don't have a grater, what can I do with that? Can I use a food
Yeah.
processor, or?
You can use a food processor. You can also just cut it really thin. I mean, the only thing we're looking for is the texture. So if you want to take the time to slice it, that's fine as well.
Oh, okay.
So the next thing we're going to put in is the onion. Again, I said that we're making this one a little bit more savory, so we're using onion, salt, and pepper. And what we did with the onion was the same thing. We grated it the same texture as the apple.
So you used the grater, right?
We did, yes. So we're putting in one medium onion or one small onion. You don't need too much of it.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to mix it up. This is a great thing for children again. They can use their hands and get right into it. The reason why I like using my hands with this recipe, of course clean hands,
Yep.
is so you can mix it together and you can make sure the spaghetti comes apart. If you use a spoon, it will still mix.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to get it in between the different parts of the spaghetti.
Oh, okay. So you mix the apple with the spaghetti
And the onion, yes.
and the onion first.
Okay.
And then you add eggs and,
Well, not
and
yet.
seasoning.
So if you notice, it's a really wet texture.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
what do you do to get it a little bit more?
I'm glad you asked, because what I'm going to have you do.
Oh, that would be my job. I thought I was doing the easy part, Ann.
This is so easy. This is another great thing for children to do. Just lay out a couple paper towels,
Okay.
and you're just going to squeeze some of the water out.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
A little bit at a time, and just put some pressure on. Just squeeze, push down.
whew,
Coming out the side a little
all
bit.
right. So let's
some
try
more paper
another
towel?
one. Yep. Maybe I did it too hard.
No, what I would do is I would just fold it this way.
Okay.
Watch. Just put a little bit in.
So let me take this out.
Yeah. And
Okay.
just fold in and squeeze
Oh,
out
I
some of the
see.
liquid.
Oh, so that's all. See, that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
I did it wrong because I made a little ball and I. Okay. Oh, so I see. So the water comes.
It comes right out of
Okay.
it. Yeah. Then you can put the dry one right in this bowl. Get a little bit of paper towel and do the other half.
Okay. So let me do it now. See if I can do it right.
I'm going to give you another handful and just fold it over and just squeeze out some of the liquid.
Oh, I feel it. Yep. Okay.
And depending on the feel that you want, you can squeeze it a little bit more. You can squeeze it a little bit less.
Oh, okay.
I've made it both ways. We had it very juicy the other day. So we're going to take a little extra of the water. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add...
That's actually fun. Children will love that.
It's an easy part for
Yeah.
children. We're going to add 2 large eggs, but before we add them, we're going to whisk them. So do you want to do that as well?
What does whisk mean?
Take your fork and just whisk it
Oh,
up.
okay. All right.
So crack it right in.
I mean, that's a legit question.
That is a
and just-
legit question. I'm not judging.
Don't judge.
And a second egg.
Okay.
The reason we whisk it beforehand is so we don't have a concentration of yolk on one side and egg white on the other side.
All right.
All right. And then you're going to throw it right into the spaghetti squash. Excellent.
Okay.
And we're going to add a little salt and pepper. Again, we don't need a ton of salt and pepper. It's really to taste. So I don't even like to do a full quarter of a teaspoon, which is what the recipe calls for. I just like to do a pinch. A little pinch throughout. I do like pepper though. So I'll go with...
So you like pepper better than salt, right?
Absolutely. Just over a quarter teaspoon
Oh,
of
okay.
pepper. Okay. And we're going to mix it. This time the egg's in, so I'm going to use my spoon.
So is it going to taste more the sweeter side or more salty?
No, because we did the onion and the salt and
okay.
pepper, it's going to be more on the savory
Oh,
side.
okay.
The last thing we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of flour, and not a lot, because again, we're using the spaghetti squash as the, as the meat of the recipe.
What type of flour do you use?
So we're going to use
Oh, just the
whole
whole
wheat
wheat
flour.
flour.
Yeah.
And why do you use whole wheat flour instead of the regular flour?
We like to use the whole wheat flour because it's healthier. The grain isn't bleached out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of flour.
Okay, let me do
we
it.
don't want to stick it in there,
Okay.
so let's put it right in here. Pour a little bit in here. Yep. In case there's anything on your spoon, you always want to put it in cups on the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you can scoop it out. So 1.
Yep. And what you want to do is just. Right
Oh,
across
okay.
the top.
So that's the right
Yeah,
measure.
make sure it's nice and even.
Okay.
One more. Right across the top. Excellent. Thank you. And then we'll stir it up a little bit. All right. Do you want to stir that and I'll
Sure.
get the pan ready?
I feel like a little kid. I mean, I have a kiddie spoon and this is fun.
So fritters are deep fried. With this recipe, we're not deep frying it. We're just browning it on both sides. So I'm going to measure in. Sorry to reach over you.
That's okay.
Just enough oil to cover the bottom. This is a deeper pan, a little bit wider. So I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons.
Could I bake this or no?
Good question. Yeah, you could bake this.
Yeah. I mean, if I bake, probably I should put more flour, or can I put breadcrumbs in it to make it a little bit
I
more?
wouldn't use breadcrumbs.
No?
I would stick with the flour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I could make like a little,
Like a little patty.
a little patty. Yeah.
This recipe tastes really good when it's put on the frying pan.
Oh, okay.
Again, a little bit of oil. We don't want to drown them. We're not deep frying them. Our mixture is nice. It's a little bit wet.
So what should you do?
Why don't we add just
A little bit more
Yeah.
flour? Okay.
a little bit more flour? Perfect. Again, recipes are a guide. If you find that your product is too wet or if it's not sticking together, you can adjust it. You can add a little bit more egg, a little bit more flour. And this is where it's fun to add the kids in again.
Yeah, because you can try and ask them to add the ingredients that you're...
Well, that and now we're going to make a patty.
Oh. Oh, wow.
So again, the kids can make a patty. Just a nice round one that fits in your hand.
Make one.
We'll put it right on the pan.
I'm going to make a baby one.
You want to make a baby one? So you want to make sure that you're helping them when cooking with the oil. Oil can splat, especially with wet ingredients. So putting them on the pan should always be the adult's job.
Yeah, I should make it bigger, right?
Yeah, try to keep them uniform so they cook evenly.
Okay.
If you're making a bunch, another way you can make this is on like a hot plate, like a big flat griddle. The oil's getting a little bit hotter, so I'm going to start to use my spoon so it doesn't splat on me.
That's
That's
fine.
perfect. That's all that fits in.
So, and what's the temperature of the
So I
oil
have
right
it
now?
on medium heat again. Oil is, you want to make sure you stay back away from the oil. It can spit up at you, especially with the cold ingredients. And it doesn't need to be too hot. Again, we're not deep frying. We
Yeah.
just want to get enough oil at the bottom to heat the recipe.
Oh, that's great. I want to see how it's going to taste, though, because I'm a little skeptical, like I said, with the spaghetti squash.
yeah.
So I'm excited to taste it.
Yeah, don't be skeptical of this one. This one's good.
Yeah.
If you make a sweeter one, if you add more apple, a little bit of cinnamon, you can also make some sort of like a yogurt dip to eat it with.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But again, this one's more on the savory side. We have a little bit of pepper, onion. So I'm just going to let it brown on one side. It does have egg in it, so you need to make sure to cook it all the way through.
So,
Get my spatula.
I mean, what do you eat that with? Like, what do you pair with?
You can cook this with anything. This would be good in the morning. It has a really good...
It almost looks like a little pancake.
It does,
though.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So you could make it for breakfast.
Yeah, you can make it for breakfast. You could have it for lunch. You can cook it with something. I think I would make this savory with like a side of spinach.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So with a salad, or I don't know. My vision is like I want to put some fruit jam on top of it. That's what I'm envisioning, but let's see how it's gonna
And this
taste.
is also a great way to add more vegetables. You could put broccoli in here with the onion and the broccoli.
Oh, so if I want to add vegetables, that's a good idea. So if I can, I can eat. What about if I add like some spinach or kale?
Absolutely. This
So it's very versatile,
very
right?
versatile recipe. Yeah, definitely. I'm
It
just
looks
turning
good.
them. I want them to brown evenly on each side.
So, Ann, one of the things that we do for our participants is to give coupons for the farmers market every summer.
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity to use the coupons, right? Over the
Absolutely,
summer.
yeah. Because you can get spaghetti squash at a farmer's market. You can get onions at a farmer's market. Definitely apples, especially
Yeah.
in this area.
Exactly.
So
And it's a great benefit too, because we give coupons to every participant in the program. So it's very helpful, and it's really fun to take your family to a farmer's market. Children will be exposed to different fruits and vegetables, and it's always fun. I love going to the farmer's market.
Oh, absolutely. And you can find different things there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to add a few more in.
Okay.
Again, you want to make them uniform so they cook evenly. Can you put a little more olive oil on there?
Sure.
When adding extra oil, just make sure you back up a little bit so it doesn't spit on you.
Okay. So I'm learning a lot of safety.
Yes.
More?
Perfect, perfect. All right, I'm just going to mix around my oil.
Look at mine. Mine is so tiny.
So that is our apple fritter recipe. Again, we made a savory one, so cooking this as a meal, you can do it with a little bit of steamed spinach.
Uh-huh.
And it's a kind of heavy, so I don't think you need like a grain with it. This is good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I feel like if you have a salad with that, would be great.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really excited to try it for breakfast.
Awesome.
I think you'll make a great breakfast.
So to find this recipe and any of other recipes, you can just find us on Facebook, Framingham, Waltham, WIC.
Thank you.
Hear my belly rumble for something more than bread. A nice big steak and fries to go. Listen to what I said. I need something more than soup to keep me satisfied.
No more checks. Using WIC is easier than ever. WIC is a free nutrition program that helps working families stretch their food budget and make healthy choices. WIC helps families learn to shop for nutritious foods and provides recipes for healthy meals. There's even online nutrition education and an app to make shopping easier. WIC, good food, and a whole lot more. Call or visit us online to find out if you qualify.